everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Kerbal Space Program. Apparently, the focused observational surveys are meant, or ideally done, with a space plane as opposed to a rocket. So I'm actually going to bite the bullet, and in fact, I'm going to decline 2 of these, which is going to cost us some money, but and some reputation, as you can see right there. But I'm just gonna live with that, and we're gonna stick with space stuff for now. So I appreciate all the people who've told me that advice, and I apologize for going for those. I thought maybe it would go standard career mode, like we'll go 1 to 3 star and do the 1 star first. But I think what we're going to do is test. Like, escape the atmosphere seems like an easy one that also pays well, gives us good reputation and good science. And, I thought there was one more. To test it at the launch site was not what I was looking for. Oh, test the radial decoupler in flight over Kerbin. I still don't know what flying means. But I know that I could have, like, solid boosters radially coupled to our rocket and then dump them at, like, 1 kilometer or 4,000 meters. And then probably still fly to space, I think, after that point. So I think I'm going to give this a shot. It's the TT38K radial decoupler, and we can make a lot of money and rep as a result of this. So we're going to go to the vehicle assembly building, and, you know, we've been working on Tomopod for too long. Let's get Rukapod Mark 1 going up here. Now, obviously, a very simple design here. We got 2 objectives. One of them is to get 70,000 meters up, which is actually pretty easy, I think. And the other one is to get, how does the heat shield work? Well, we'll find out one day. Because we are going to re-enter the atmosphere, which is what worries me. I guess we can put it there. Anyway, I worry that the heat is going to destroy this, is basically what I'm getting at. Can we put it on top of it? No. Anyway. We need to get 70,000 meters above the surface of the Earth here. So we're going to go pretty... well, we need a decoupler there, sorry. We're going to go pretty high on fuel, although not too much. We're going to go a stacked decoupler. This is going to be the second stage of our rocket that I'm building right now. And again, you know, I'm still kind of feeling it out for myself. I have been looking up tips online. Apparently, the tutorials in the game are relatively bare bones. So I can't necessarily rely on them for, to have taught me basically what I'm doing in the game. So I do appreciate your support, hopefully enjoying my failures, but also giving me a little bit of tolerance here as I learn to make this work for myself. But I understand backseating as well, especially because there is like an objective solution, essentially, to solving some of these. It's not that I'm trying to be creative and say, like, oh, you know, hey, let me do things my own way. It's more that I'm trying to use inferences for right now that may or may not be appropriate. But we'll see. So this is my second stage of my rocket. I want, you know, some maneuverability in case we're not looking great. And then we need a little bit of extra thrust, maybe, to help us get to altitude, and this is about as good as it's gonna get from a weight standpoint. Yeah, and I've realized, by the way, again, I have played this game before, it's been a while. I realized that these are the nose caps go on the boosters, basically, to minimize drag, so that's sensible. We have radial decouplers, so how's this gonna work? Stage 1, these fire, then this decouples, then this fires. We need fins or winglets, and we could put them on the edge of the boosters, but then we'll have less aerodynamic control when we fire our second stage. So I'm going to try to cheat the system and basically get aerodynamics twice for the price of 1, you know? We're going to call this Rukapod Mark 2, because this is a starkly different design. We should probably just make it a new design to begin with, but this is designed for exiting Kerbin's atmosphere and hopefully safely returning. Now, you experts might know that something will go wrong with this, but for now, this seems good to me. So Ruka Pod Mark II. Let's give it a shot here. Now this I like because it doesn't matter where we land it. I think. Again, we should probably make girders, I guess. I forget. I thought previously... I don't remember. I was going to be like, I thought previously this is how it worked, but I actually don't know. So this is just basically straight up or as straight as possible and then straight down or as straight as possible. So we're going to go 2/3 throttle, even though it doesn't matter. I'm going to start just like this. And we could decouple, and the decoupling might complete our objective. I'm unsure, but we're going to hit more than 4,000 before they run out of fuel. So you know what? I'm just gonna let them ride. We'll do one mission at a time here, and we're getting up there, dude. So they're out. I didn't activate the thrust as quickly as I should have, but we got a lot of fuel left here, and we've come to the point where it seems to me like we're escaping Earth's atmosphere. Kerbin's atmosphere, sorry. It probably is better to not approach it at such a like 1-to-1 angle, but I'll leave that to the eggheads in the science department. I'm gonna crank up the throttle a little bit. Oh no, I don't want to turn on sticky keys. So we are in orbit. Let's cut the engines, which is just X here. We're in orbit, as you can tell by this right now. So let's peep our map quickly. You can see our apoapsis is up here. There's no way we're going to be in orbit for like one full rotation of the Earth. So I'm just... Now, we've completed our objective. We've completed all of our objectives, actually. If I remember correctly, the next step for like maintaining orbit was like you pivot until you're almost parallel to the planet. Maybe that's what the blue indicator is? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. And then you hit it with a little thrust while keeping ourselves like up here. But I do need to do the orbiting tutorial for certain. Like this, you see this is extending the it's extending our arc around the planet basically here. So we are not quite gonna reach orbit, and we are gonna fall like incredibly far away from where we originally were. But you know what, dude? We accomplished our mission right off the bat, and this feels good because for a while I thought I was like, you know, borderline an idiot. So we didn't necessarily travel that far, but that's not what we were going for regardless. So I think we can just like essentially speed up to speed 1,000,000 here. We can only go, I was gonna say we can only go speed 2 here. Okay, let's revert to launch, because I'm pretty sure I know what happened there. I'm gonna give myself a second shot at orbit. I believe you have to get rid of all this stuff so you don't just die when you re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. SAS on, please. Why are you turning? Why are you turning? You basically righted the ship. I'm not mad anymore. So let's crank on that throttle so we're ready for when we remove the solid fuel boosters. Slightly smoother, although still pretty bad. Alright. We'll try to put it into orbit, although we might not be able to get it out of orbit if we do, depending on how much fuel we have left. Remember, we're really just trying to do like an up and down here. I'm mostly just trying to learn for myself at this point. I guess that's probably like this is like how well it can handle the heat. So we can probably afford to cut the engine. Yeah, we're gonna hit 70, which is what we wanted in the first place. And then escape the atmosphere, yes. And then, what's the third one? Test the stack decoupler. Right, I forgot. Get out of here. We've accomplished these. So we have almost no fuel left to change our trajectory right now, which is actually fine. Whoa, we're going like way higher than we went last time. We're gonna land on like the other side of the planet here. So all I'm gonna do is to minimize the length of this mission, I'm gonna point us back towards Kerbin, ideally not in an uncontrollable tailspin. So I don't know what these markers mean. I need to take like a YouTube tutorial that's like understanding the map. Okay, just straighten me out. This is fine. Like I thought SAS went towards what you targeted on the map, but I'm not sure, to be honest with you at this point. I thought it was like an autopilot, but I might be mistaken. So I wanna pitch down just a little bit, just towards the planet. Maybe that's what the blue marker means. And then I'm gonna crank on the throttle as much as I can. We'll see how that affects our trajectory. Not much. So we're gonna, I mean, we don't need to decouple yet, but we should take the speed quite high. And wait till we hit apoapsis, which we just did. Now we're descending. And we're descending at an increasing rate. So what we want to avoid is what happened last time, which is us burning up in the atmosphere. So I'm gonna speed up until we hit like maybe like 125,000. I don't know, 75,000. That seemed to be where they told us to escape the atmosphere at 70,000. So let's go until we get to 90. Which we just have. And then we're gonna decouple like basically right now. So now we're just in the crew hatch. And now we're gonna see if we burn up re-entering the atmosphere. By the way, I understand that it's probably very dark for you on the screen right now. We're gonna die. The science modules, bro! Bro. Jebediah. Why? Why? Liquid fuel engine exploded due to overheating. Okay, we gotta go back to vehicle assembly. So, getting to space, no problem. Coming back, kind of an issue. So there's heat shielding in temperature? Thermal, yeah. Heat shield, a tiny structural heat shield. A large structural heat shield. What is a radiator panel? It dissipates heat into space. That seems irrelevant for us right now, unless I'm an idiot and it's actually genius. We just surround the ship with radiator panels. I thought a radiator panel was so it doesn't get so hot inside of the spaceship, because we're generating heat from our processes. Well, you know what? First off, these things are generating drag, and drag will murder you when you try to re-enter the atmosphere. This might be enough. We could also just try not going so high into the atmosphere. I don't know if more heat shields helps. I don't know. I think we should give this a try. I don't know. Just throw some radiator panels. Throw 2 radiator panels on this thing. See if perhaps that affects it. That looks like it's going to create so much drag. But, like, where else can we put radiator panels that make any sense? Yeah, there you go. Like, here, they're relatively flush. I guess they're not meant to be. Maybe it's because they got too damaged during launch. Because they were all so hot. So maybe this will, I don't know. I'm basically going to save and give it another shot here. It's all about trial and error. That's science. You know, you can't get to the moon without killing a few astronauts. Let's go. And let's see if we can get a smoother SAS on, please. That's my bad. So Neil Armstrong launching with Apollo 11. Oh, sorry, that's my bad, Houston. Okay. Going up. And getting ready to dump solid fuel boosters. Regular fuel boosters still taking us up here. Nothing has burned up yet. But things are getting hot. I'll just admit, you know, I got no idea how a radiator works in real life. It doesn't seem like it got as hot, but I might be incorrect. Okay. Where's our apoapsis here? I basically just want this to be done. So I'm gonna turn us like roughly perpendicular, which if I remember correctly, that's like being on the horizon here. That makes sense, more or less. And then you would use more fuel to kind of like change your vector to be around the horizon. Right, and then you would hit the space bar to eject into space. You definitely would not hit the throttle. Instead, what you would do is eject yourself into the stars. Well, this calls for speed infinity, as we see if we are going to be able to survive our re-entry here. We should probably pause. We should make sure that we're oriented, nose cone pointed. Well, never mind. I guess we're just all gonna die. Good night, sweet prince. I'm mad. I'm a little mad. Just end me. End me. Back to vehicle assembly. Okay. Kerbal Space Program. How to Survive Reentry. Let's see what the Steam forums say. I put a heat shield at the bottom of the final stage of my craft, but it always wants to flip over and do a nosedive even with SAS. I just launched Jeb, and I'd really like to not lose any more Kerbals. I got around it by mounting the pod upside down so it has a heat shield of its own at the very bottom. Have your center of mass closer to the heat shield and it won't flip over. Use your engine as a heat shield? Don't try to re-enter at a steep angle. That seems to make perfect sense. This game is too intelligent for me in my present mindset. It's supposed to come in blunt end first, Mercury conical capsule, parachute on the pointy end, heat shield on the blunt end, turn off your SAS and come in hands-free. This guy is like actually Buzz Aldrin. Open your parachute at 50 meters? That seems ridiculous, but I'll tell you what. I'm in no position to be making enemies right now. 50 kilometers, what I mean to say. You can only open at 5,000 though. We can't open any higher than that, unless maybe the other parachutes, which are in utility, could do so. Like, give me a moment here. Again, we want to do it without blocking the capsule. And we do have hex snapping on. No, those can only pop at 5,000 as well, so I don't know if that's the secret. Admittedly, it could be. I just don't know. Okay, so let's go over tips quickly. First off, I don't think the radiators did anything. Just dump them. We want to come in at a less steep angle, and we want to make sure that we're coming in blunt end first if possible. With the heat shield on the bottom, which is how it looks right now. It also said use your engine as a heat shield, which I don't know about that. Also told me to fly a dead stick, which I take offense to because do you think I'm Andrew Sully? Or what's the name of I forgot the name of what's Sully's first name? What is Sully's first name? Henry J. Waternoose III? That's Monsters, Inc. Sully, Tom. Oh, Chelsea. It's not Andrew at all. Okay. Here we go again. I always turn SAS on too late. Let's take the throttle at 2/3 for now. Maybe that'll give us more time with the fuel. Like, maybe it's more fuel efficient is what I'm getting at. We do have a little roll. There we go. Did we blow up our own fuel booster? Because that would be pretty sweet. We got 2/3 throttle. Around 25,000 we start to heat up. Well, actually around 20,000 we start to heat up. And I guess it makes most sense to approach it, you know, with the nose cone pointed upwards for now. Admittedly, I know very little about rocketry, so... But it does seem like at present, you know, at a slightly different angle... we're going to cut the engine for now. At a slightly different angle, we were not penalized as much. So now we want to get ourselves... we want apoapsis to be not straight up and straight down, which it sort of is right now. So I think take SAS off. We're flying hands-free, boys. And we want to get a little closer to the horizon line, like so. I love the Tim Burton-esque music when we get up here. I just wish I could, you know, stay here. No, don't point downwards. You're actually in a good spot. I like this. Still straight up and straight down, and then to bleed that, what we're gonna do is throttle up. Well, we still got some fuel left. And this should extend and thus make our descent a lot gentler, is my dream here. But we are almost out of fuel. I'm gonna try to take a more extreme angle. Okay. Well, I don't know, essentially. We're definitely, like, not just going straight up, which is a nice change of pace. So now the next step, I guess, will be to try to orient so we're coming in blunt end down. We'll go times 50 time for now and just see. Okay, we're at apoapsis. Go back to speed 1. Because pretty soon, we're going to be coming back into the Earth's surface. So let's decouple. Try to make sure we're coming in blunt side down. Dude, this seems actually good. Speed up to speed 2, which is actually speed 5. Still coming in blunt side down. We're not flying dead stick. I turned SAS on. Or did I? Still got a long way to go here. But I think we're coming in stably. I just hope we don't, like, reorient to the nose coming down once we get closer to the surface. Right now, it looks good, though. Although I am coming basically at 90 degrees is what it looks like, but That's what we want when we land, right? We want the apoapsis to be like a lob, like a Hail Mary. But we want the suborbital vector to be like a Hail Mary, but we want the heat shield to be coming in like as flush as possible, right? So that the heat shield takes the brunt of the punishment here. This is the moment of truth. It's behaving a lot better. What blew up? What blew up? Hopefully that was our fuel boosters. Yo, we're gonna make it. Oh. What's it like up there in the atmosphere? Wouldn't you want to know, nerd? Get out of here. Go and get in the trash. Get in the trash. Look at that. It's beautiful. Now what we have to do is make sure that we live when we land. And we're still going 264 meters a second, which seems really bad. I don't know if we'll have enough time to slow down. Pop this faster, please. I had to hit the space bar, and I didn't. Let me guess. Catastrophic failure. All right, but we know we can do this. So this, again, trial and error. We can do this at speed 1,000,000. I think this is going to be fine. SAS on. This is going to be the best flight we've ever had. I can tell you that right now. It's going to be so smooth. And we've learned so much here. This is like Rob Thomas featuring Carlos Santana, and not vice versa, I tell you that. Okay, so first, we've built what I would consider to be a semi-successful rocket here. Fuel runs out. I gotta get a beat on how much you should press the spacebar, because that's clearly not it. We should not be approaching this at such a steep vector, maybe, but I guess because we're not going that fast, it's not causing as much heat damage. We should be exiting the atmosphere pretty soon. Nothing has taken heat damage yet. Oh, dude, beautiful. Okay, cut the engine. Now, apoapsis has us like this. I'm gonna reorient to the horizon, and then we're gonna hit it like pretty hard here. Oh! I always hit space to activate the thrusters. Yeah, okay, here we are in space again. So SAS, get turned off, son. We're coming in dead stick. There we go. All right, well, I still think this will work. But our angle's gonna be terrible. I mean, that's just a misclick, and it's basically me being an idiot, so. We got nothing to stop us from listening to the Where the Streets Have No Name intro here. We can go faster. We should survive the drop here. I think we made it just fine. So I think I've armed the parachute now. Well, we probably shouldn't have popped it at 9,000 meters. But we should have enough air to slow down now. We're not slowing down as much as I'd like. Oh, there we go. There we go. So now we will live. And finally, we have completed one successful mission going into outer space, at least temporarily. World's first milestones, recover vessel. Oh, hopefully we get some experience out of that. So we had to go back in time a little bit, and it was not without problems, no doubt. But dude, we made money. No experience gain. I guess because we reverted, maybe. Might be no experience gain. Either way, thank you for watching. We're going to work on some more contracts. Now that I've got like a formula for re-entry that works, that's like the foundation of any great Kerbal Space Program, I think. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. and I'll see you next time.